So today we're going to continue our discussion about Universal Year 5 and its relationship to one's personal year. Personal year, you have to remember, is our month of birth and our date of birth added together along with the year 2012, and that'll give you your personal year. So this universal year for the United States is a 5, and 5 can be the downfall of humanity. It's called that number. It can also be the pathway to exaltation. And in part 1, I talked about being a 1, a 2 in a 5 year, and I'm going to continue on with looking at personal years within a 5 year. If you are a 3 personal year in a 5 year, that will bring a tremendous amount of good karma. It draws in very balanced energy and takes it into an exalted state. And if we do 3 and 5 together, we get 8. We get the number of karma. Now, of course, if you are on a trail that is not quite in alignment with spiritual practice, and as you can see behind me, this is my meditation place, so I keep emphasizing we need a spiritual practice in order to make sure that we keep heading for the high road. So a 3 in a 5 year could also bring in a lot of balancing, not just balance, but balancing karma. So it also means that if there are things owed, if this might be a very, very good year for repayment. So something to think about when you're looking at yourself if you're a 3 personal year in a 5 year. If we look at having a 4 personal year in a 5 universal year, then 4 is the number of building. It is a kind of completion, but it is a completion more on the earth plane terms, whereas 9 is a completion on spiritual energy. So 4 in a 5 year, we also have a 9, and the 4 energy means that in a 5 year would allow us to finish a lot of really good projects that we've started, to put the finishing touches on maybe some unfinished business that we have. It's also a good time to start something as a practice run. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will come through, that it will work out, but it will give you a very good practice run if you have a 4 personal year in a 5 universal year. If you have a 5 personal year in a 5 universal year, hang on to your hats. Great time to start projects, lots of energy, lots of good help coming from spiritual energies to get you going. You could have a rapid ascension to the top in the beginning of a project especially. So do be careful though that this would be like being on one of the bullet trains, that if you derail, you'll be derailing at 160 miles an hour, not at 30 miles an hour. So this is a very focused energy, very high speed, very exciting. It also means, though, that after this year, which is ending soon, that things would level out quite a bit, and you'll have to take it from high speed into harmony. If you have a 6 personal year and you are in a 5 universal year, you are looking at probably some of the most beneficial energies, 6 being the number of harmony, love, community, unconditional love. And so this is a great year for prosperity in the most harmonious sense of the word, and it is the balance between emotions and logic. So a wonderful, wonderful year, but we need to remember that nothing lasts forever. So this would be a year for healing. It would be a year you could possibly make a tremendous amount of money. You could get a lot of recognition, a lot of fame and acknowledgement for this particular year. Again, we're talking short term, year by year. If you have a 7 personal year in a 5 year, 7 is the number of the mystic and the teacher, and 5 is the number that is a turning point into higher spiritual practices or the downfall into being trapped by the sensations of earth. So if you are running a 7 personal year, a little bit tricky here, because if you're not on a spiritual path, your longing for spiritual energy could become so heightened this year that this could be a year filled with turning to drugs or alcohol, turning to other substitutions for your longing for spiritual energy. If you are on a spiritual path, it would mean that your spiritual energies would have a great boost this year. Your practice would get much stronger, your teaching abilities would get stronger, your insights will get stronger, and a great year to use this energy to connect spiritually and also to bring that spiritual energy into Earth. 7 and a 5 together is going to give us a 3, which is a wonderful balance between male and female energy. If you're running an 8 personal year in a 5 universal year, again, a wonderful energy, because 8 is the number of karma. 8 and 5 together is going to end up with a 4, which is manifesting on Earth, bringing things forward, the ability to build, to complete, to work in a good, gradient, solid fashion. And so the 8 karma can bring in lots of good, solid, hard work that will carry over into next year if you have an 8 personal year in a 5 universal year. Now, if you're a little bit unbalanced, that 8 year could mean that you're going to put in a lot of hard work and it's not going to give you much. It's just going to end up with you putting in a lot of hard work, and then you might have something at the end that really doesn't work out for you. Not a great loss there, but it could be an extremely frustrating time. If you have a 9 in a 5 year, a 9 personal year, wonderful time to really wrap up, finish up, get solid on any loose ends that are hanging on in your life. It's also, if you're artistic, which a lot of people get that kind of urge in a 9 year, would be a wonderful creative year for you. The creative juices will just be flowing. If you're writing a book, if you're making pictures, if you're a photographer, this would be a great, great year to continue to produce work and possibly think about putting on a show with your work. That's how strong that energy will be. Remember that numerology is just a tool. I use it as a tool. I don't use it for every reading. I just use it for life charts. And then from there, I use my clairvoyant ability and psychic readings talents that I have that were developed, again, by spiritual practice. Behind me, I have an altar. I always suggest to somebody that you make a place to meditate. You can put anything on it. You can put Jesus on it. You can put a picture of someone who's crossed over. You can put sand from a beach that has made you feel very, very close to spirit. But it does help to have a place there to remind us of the sacredness of life and the fact that we're on quite a wonderful journey here that takes a combination of courage, stamina, and a lot of guidance from sources other than our little mind that runs around going crazy sometimes. So I hope to see you again. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be posting videos, I think, pretty much on a daily basis. Have a great day.